And you know this, man.
What is up, everybody? It's your girl, Tiffany Nicole. You guys, I am super excited. Happy Sunday, everybody. We are live on my YouTube channel, and I just want to say, y'all, this right here, this gentleman that I have on my show, man, did we go back? We go back. We go back. We go back. We go back. We go way back. So hey, John, how long has it been?
8, 9 years, I think.
Eight,
10.
9 years. Oh my God.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 years. No, wait, has it been 10?
Yes, because we've been talking a lot about just life, like how
Mm-hmm.
life be lifing. We've been
Yes.
talking about how life be lifing for at least 9, 10 years now. Correct? At least.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, so because I've been in LA for 7 years now.
And I was talking to you when you made that move and you were considering the move and
Mm-hmm. I
the
know.
decisions that was going into that process.
Yeah, and then for some of you guys who don't know, John was with me in the process of me and my son going back and forth. Like we were at it. I'm talking about y'all, we was at it where the police was at my door, busting down my door. John was around during that time and
We could have been there, done that. And then when you was going through it, I was like, oh,
I was going through a lot.
no.
Uh I don't think people really understand like that part of my season of life dealing with Damiani was hard.
And you were transitioning in terms of trying to advance your career, moving to do some things that were your goals in the back of your mind, in front of your mind,
Hmm.
decisions you had to make to like, I'm just going to make this leap. I'm going to do this. Right.
I
And
remember I
so,
wanted to go into acting. That's
yep.
why I moved. That's one of the reasons why I moved to LA was for acting. And then life just came in. And uh, you knew that my son got shot, though, right?
Yeah, we talked about that a long
Yeah,
time
we
ago.
talked. Yeah, we talked about that too. Uh,
But now that we're seasoned, we be forgetting some things that we went
no, yeah, you're absolutely right. Now that, yeah, no, completely understand. Yeah, definitely. But you guys, I'm so honored to have you on because you are the first of all, gotta give it up. For some of you guys I know, first I want to say this. I'm gonna be going live every Sunday with a guest. Because I want this platform to be about with information, resources, and to help people and to encourage mothers. And but John is my first father to be on here, which I am honored to have him on. Normally I was skeptical having a daddy on here because society said y'all really don't be there for us.
right,
But
right.
you, on the other hand, you was the involved parent. You
Yeah,
was hands on.
yeah,
You was there for your son. So your situation is different because you know I was a
right.
single parent. My son's father, unfortunately, my son's father was not there, but you were present in the household with the household with your son.
Yep.
And let's talk about it first. Tell the people who you are, where you're from, and let them know how educated you are. Cause you just not a random dude that just started working at Home Depot. Listen, I ain't knocking nobody working at Home Depot, but
Me either. Me either.
I got this man on here. He just not a random man. And to the ladies, he is single too. Cause look at God, won't he do it with some good looking
Yeah, Willie
brothers?
won't. Willie won't. Um, so they always say you shouldn't tell people about how intelligent you are, what jobs you have, because life would tell you about that, right? It's called humility, right? So,
Hmm.
but I did dot the I's and cross the T's growing up. Went to college, moved out when I was 18. Went to college, graduated, got my MBA, got married. Had the kids, white picket fence, yards. I'm crossing the T's and dotting the I's, right? And so it was a life that I thought that I could create and I can manage the life, right? And
Hmm.
then so I got all these letters behind my name, but they don't really mean anything. I mean, but I just think I'm smart. But
No,
society would tell
right.
you how smart you ain't. So I don't use that. But and then fast forward, worked in corporate America for 20 years or so, created my own management consulting firm, created a real estate firm where I do fix and flips and new construction. So I started the real estate piece to augment the management consulting piece. And then I started making more money doing real estate than the management consulting. And so I was like, I'm still going to do real estate. I'm still going to have my own small business firm where I can still help companies grow and manage processes and all that. And so I still do that today. So
Yes.
fast
And your
forward,
son was part of all of that too.
man, listen. So my kids grew up like in the suburbs. Let me back up. I'm from Ohio. Midwestern town near Detroit. My company, GE at the time, moved me all over every 2 years to a new state, which is cool. I'm climbing the ladder. Moved to Florida, moved to Connecticut, moved to California, and then a suburb outside of Atlanta in 83, I think it was. And so, but the suburb outside of Atlanta was one that was predominantly Caucasian.
Okay.
But great schools, school systems where, your kids go to college. And so once again, I'm checking all the boxes off, right? Checking the boxes off, picket fence,
Because
school systems.
that's what they tell us.
Hey man, listen, I'm not rich or anything, but just, middle class America,
Yep.
but checking the boxes off so that my kids can have a better opportunity than I did growing up in the hood in Ohio.
Okay.
And then, just started doing real estate and stuff like that. And then it changed though, I think, and I learned a lot through this process about what I thought I was doing right. But my kids were doing the right things at the time. But once they get a certain age, they can make their own decisions, like high school. High school is when it starts. And so even though I'm thinking I'm pouring into them, I'm giving them opportunities. Listen, they each got a car after their first year in college. They're in the school systems where you go to college. And so I told my kids, if your last name is Reid, R-E-I-D, you going to school. But over time I realized that you really don't have to go to college, right, to be successful. So that was the path that I was on to just thinking what I thought was the American dream. I was in Ebony magazine, Jet magazine. They
Oh, I
profiled,
didn't know this.
yeah, they profiled us, and I think it was the business, no, Black Enterprise magazine. They profiled me and my family, and me being the CFO for college and all that stuff. And so my daughter still points that out. But yeah, we were profiled in Black Enterprise magazine. So if you pull up
Wow.
Black Enterprise and put my name in, you can see my kids and my wife at the time when they were like little. They were like, I think Brittany was like 10, John Jr. was 8, and Marcus was like 6. So it's an old archived article, but Black Enterprise magazine. I think I was talking about scholarships and financial planning for kids. So if you pull up Jonathan Reid, you'll see that. But anyway, all that is irregardless of what we're talking about today. Is like, we're talking about where it doesn't matter how you were, what you think, checking all the checklists off. Life happens.
Yeah,
So that's like
because
your question was, what was my background? That was the background.
technically, just based off that alone, statistic wise, what you just said, normally your person of your status quo, your child wouldn't go to prison.
Correct.
According to what,
You would think.
yeah, what society says.
Right.
Whole family in the Black Enterprise magazine. And here you are, boom, let's fast forward. You get the call, your son's in prison.
So let me tell you how I got the call. It's
Okay.
interesting. I don't think too many people know this story other than my close friends.
Okay.
So remember I told you I was in Black Enterprise magazine. So I used to
Yes.
go to their golf and tennis challenge every year. San Diego, Miami. I go with my boys. We golf, tennis. It's a great time. So I'm in Miami at the Golf Enterprise, and I get a call from my dad at the time before he died. He said, "Where's your son at?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm in Miami. He's in Atlanta suburbs." He said, "Your son in jail." I'm like, "No." All of a sudden, my phone started blowing up because my son has my same name, and it was like, "John, what happened? Where you at? What you do? What did you do?" I'm like, "I didn't do nothing." So I'm with my boy, right? I
Uh-huh.
got divorced from my wife. We were divorced. It was not a pleasant divorce, but he was like, man, you need to call your ex-wife, see what's going on. So I called her. I didn't want to call her because I already knew what the conversation was going to be about. And man, she was on me like it's my fault. And the conversation wasn't pleasant. But now I know, like, man, what happened? I'm trying to get the story. So I get a call about the story. And I look at the news, local news in Atlanta. Guess who on the news?
Your son.
Never in a million years. Never. Never. Like, never.
So how old was your son?
I think he had just turned 20 or 21. I think he had just turned like maybe 21. July, he hit this September. I think he might have just turned 21 at the time. 20 or 21.
20 or 21. Okay. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're at the golf course in my if anybody has been to golf course in Miami, y'all know how they do in Miami. If y'all ain't been to Miami, then let's say I've been to Miami. The golf course ain't no joke.
Mm-mm.
Because y'all probably have cigars and yes.
Some bourbon or
So
something.
that was my next thing. I was saying
Yeah.
some bourbon. And you probably got your matching outfit on, got your legs out, light skin, legs is out, and you just like, chilling with the boys about, what do you do in that moment?
I wanted to come back immediately. My boy that was with me, he's known me since I was 18 years old. He said, like, John, there's nothing you can do right now, even if you go back. And my dad was like, just get back when you can. And so I had like maybe 1 or 2 days left to go there. I mean, while I was there. So we didn't immediately go back but when I went back, that was like my whole mind was messed up the whole time after that. Um, and then, me and my ex-wife weren't getting along. We get along great now, like we're great friends right now.
Yeah.
And I needed to get back to figure out what I need to do, right? Because I'm like the patriarch, so I need to figure out what lawyers we're going to get, who we're going to contact, what we're going to do, how can I get the story, So in my mind as a father, I'm like, I need to figure this out. What can we do? And as a mom, she was just like distraught because her emotions are entirely different from mine. I'm more like practical, right?
Just
Well,
say it. Just say us women are a little bit. You could just
oh,
say it.
no, emotional. Yeah, should be. Y'all carried the kids
Yes, because
nine
I'm
months.
falling
Y'all, y'all,
out.
y'all carried the kids 9 months. Y'all known that your sons and daughters 9 months more than any of us have known them, right?
Yes.
And so, but so that what she is doing is different from what I'm doing. I'm trying to like, man, what's going on? How can I figure this out? And then I get back, and then that's when all you know, all hell broke loose.
Yeah. Um, so for the people who are just joining us, your son was 22 at the 22?
21, I think 20 or 21 at the time.
21, and you got the call when you was at the golf course,
Yep,
having your cigar and your bourbon,
yep.
and you get the call, and you and your ex at the time was ex-wife, but at this point y'all come together because it's chaotic at this point, correct?
Yeah. We
Okay,
eventually did, like after about a year. Yes, yes.
okay,
Because it's a
and
whole big process of going through the charge, dealing with the county, dealing with going to court, coming
mhm.
up with a sentence. It's like a whole year process in Georgia at that time, right?
Oh, so he's in county jail for a whole year. So is that how it is for Georgia?
It was back and forth, right? County, right? Because now we're appealing, right? We're going to court. So he's in court, he's being charged. So now I got to get a lawyer. We get a lawyer who's been challenging stuff, right? And then we're going through the process, but it took about a year in the county before he gets sentenced to incarcerated with the state after the sentencing. So that process in itself, we're in court on a regular basis. And so we're hearing from police, we're hearing from witnesses, we're hearing from prosecuting attorneys, and they're crooked too. Just let you know, the system is not built for us. They crooked too. I've like recorded how crooked they are.
Oh,
But
the
but but,
mothers can
but
say in a group, they
oh
say that all the
man,
time.
so we're in court, and so over I think about a year process, I'm writing. I'm not a lawyer, but I can write you know uh, stuff to give to the lawyer, counteracts, like or my our prerogative and our what we want to say to the judge going to this court system. And it took us almost, I think, about a year before they finally was like they sentenced him and he's off to the state penitentiaries.
Okay. Is this so your son's in county jail?
Mhm.
Um, is this his first time getting in trouble?
That's what I found out, that this was his first major one. But like when he was in college, so I didn't know that he got, you know, one or two small charges. I didn't know that.
Okay, you didn't know that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so
With the
he's
same guy who he decided.
oh, so he got in trouble back in college with the same individual.
Yes.
Okay. And that was
And this
what, a
guy
couple years
wasn't
later?
and this guy wasn't in college.
Okay. So
It's
your
his
son drifted at some point. Do you know
high school. High school.
do you know when the drift came?
Mhm.
Okay.
So the school that he went to in the suburbs, of course, of Atlanta, he's a basketball star and doing well in school. Freshman, sophomore, junior year, they had this minority majority program where they bust different individuals in to get them a different experience. He gravitated toward this one guy, and that one guy is the one that uh, is more urban.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so he on the basketball team, he had kicked off the basketball team as a second semester because he's dealing with this dude. Now they got a new coach in the senior year, he went back on the team senior year, but was still dealing with this same dude. And let me tell you this. There's a difference between growing up in a suburban area versus an urban area. Like I grew up in
Okay.
an urban area. And so my son grew up in a suburban area. So he can't see that what they see. Like they can see that this dude got some access. He's got a car. He's
And a
good.
two-parent household.
Two-parent household. He come from a one-parent household. Not saying that that's bad, but
No, no,
he's like, oh, I can take advantage of this. Not my
no, I
son
yes.
not having that mentality because he didn't grow
Right.
up in the hood. He don't see it. He thinking
Right.
this dude. He said, this dude love me. When like love me like I'm part of his family now. And now he's introducing my son to all this access activity that my son wasn't exposed to. So then my son went and got some tattoos. He got some dreads, but he's in the suburban environment, trying to be somebody he's not. And so now he realizes all that now. But then I'm trying to tell him, his son. But then, at the same time, me and his mom was going through a divorce. So when I'm out of the picture, it makes it a little bit easier for him.
Okay, so wait. So, do you think he shifted because of the divorce? And
I
maybe a
don't
little bit
know.
of rebellious and maybe he felt like
I think it was rebellious, yes. And then I told you, me and my ex-wife, we went for 9 years every 2 weeks to go visit him. One of the things he told us, which was eye-opening for me, was that at that time he didn't feel like he was loved by me because I was the disciplinarian.
right, because you're yes, you're the dad and you're like this, do this, do this, do this. Okay, homework done, basketball practice. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. And mom is a little bit more loving,
right.
you know.
Yep, yep. And so because of that, um, and I'm thinking I'm doing what you need to be with me. You need to go out with me. If I'm going to the golf course, you need to go with me. You need to do this with me. You need to do this. But he kept feeling like that was not love. And so he said, I'm going to go with these dudes who I think, they like me. They like who I am. And I feel accepted by them.
Oh,
We didn't know.
okay.
I never knew that until he actually, he broke it down to us over the period of 9 years when we were going in to see him. And it was eye opening because I felt guilt. My ex wife felt guilt. For years, she felt guilt, and then we finally got to the point where, no, you make your own decisions, right? And even though I kept telling you, the decisions you make can make or break you, because I know that they've done that with me. My decisions have broken me in some cases, so I know that. But he wasn't hearing that, right? He
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to be accepted. He didn't see that they using you. They can see you coming. They smell newness.
Right, right, right. Now I'm listening to you because it's like, man, because you have a daughter too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. She's
And
all
she
the same.
didn't same household. How many? What's the age difference?
18 months apart. So my
Okay,
daughter,
so they're not that far apart.
yeah, a year and a half apart. He's
And
the
sh-
middle child. He's the
and
middle.
okay, so you have three kids.
Yes.
So he was the only one that felt that. Did the other two feel that? No. I just want y'all mamas to listen to this. This how you know you could do everything right. Well, whatever they say right is. And he has three children, and he was the only one that felt that way, but the other two didn't.
Right. And I don't know if that's a middle child syndrome because my youngest son is the baby. Of course, mom's going to baby the baby. My oldest one is my daughter, who's that's daddy's girl, right? So discipline is not the same with her, and I can't discipline the youngest one because he's the baby. And so the
Right.
middle one was the one I wanted to pay more attention to, so he didn't feel like he was left out or anything. Because my daughter's going off and doing her great things. My youngest son is the baby; he's doing all his things. So I didn't want my middle son to feel left out. But because I put more discipline on him, he felt less love. He said, right?
Right.
And I'm trying to do the right things with him. And so it became a dichotomy after he told us that, like, what could I have done differently? Like, now I'm feeling guilt. Maybe I shouldn't have given him 3 whoopings, or maybe I shouldn't have been so hard on him, right? And it's that period of guilt where I was like, well, what could I, as parents, what could we have done differently, right? And there's no guidebook to tell us as a parent, do this, and this, and your kids are going to be successful. Because I'm thinking I'm doing my daughter was successful. So she's the oldest. I'm like, man, we
Yeah.
just need to follow that blueprint with him.
Yeah, because she's in the household doing everything X, Y, and Z. So, monkey see, monkey do. So all the kids are like, okay, yeah. So sister's doing good. So the middle child's gonna follow. You just think
Yep.
it's gonna line up, but that didn't happen.
Right.
So okay, so your son gets transferred to the. Is it max? He gets maximum prison.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Did the guy that he was with? Did he get in trouble too?
He got the same sentence. And this is the funny part. So they this what they did was one of the 7 deadly sins in terms of robbing somebody, if you will. And so the guy went in and did it, but he blamed it on my son. At that point, they both get arrested. The other dude was like, no, that was him that did it. But video shows that it wasn't. But at that time, in a predominantly white county, they both getting the same charge. It don't matter. And so the guy got the same sentence.
Oh, so was your son that he was your son was a driver?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you have this when it comes to your emotion? I want to hear from a dad's perspective when it comes to you, because y'all don't ever show no emotions. Y'all don't cry. Y'all don't do nothing.
We
Like,
can't.
ugh.
We
I just
can't.
want to just punch y'all sometimes. Cry. I need y'all to cry.
Nah, we can't.
Us women, we over here falling out, speaking in tongues, calling on Jesus, and y'all just be looking at us. But what was your whole emotional journey of that part? Like 9 years, like your middle child and your other two children are successful. Like at some point, did you break? Did you have
I
a
prayed.
breaking point?
I prayed every day before, after, during. We spent multiple. We spent a lot of money on 3 different attorneys to get it. I've written many writs of habeas corpus. I've written challenges to the court over the whole course of the 9 years, right? Because I keep hearing him. He's like, Dad, you need to get me out of here. Dad, you need to get me out of here, right? And so I'm doing everything I can. I've joined different organizations, and so it it used to always hit me as a father driving back home when I left him. So, I pick his mom up. We're driving together to go see him 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away, 3 hours, wherever because they move you around. And then,
Yes.
and actually, her and I used to be arguing about this nonsense on the way up there, but on the way back, that's when it actually hit. Like we're leaving our son there in this environment, and the environment is not a good environment, right? And so that's when it really hits. It's like, man, what could we have done differently? That's when the guilt hits for me. Anyway, as a father, you asked me as a father,
Yeah, as a father.
it hit me as like, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? How can I help him? And on the way back, it was more melancholy and silence on the drive back, 2 hours, 3 hours back, because it was sort of sad to leave. Like, you know,
Yeah, I know. You're leaving your child behind.
you're leaving, and he's my firstborn son. I'm leaving my
Mm-hmm.
firstborn son to then deal with this element, right? Which I never wanted him to be in that element. And of course, there's gangs in prison. There's gangs, all kind of it's everything in prison. It's everything. And so you have to be different or to not get caught up in prison. And so the beauty of it, not the beauty, but he learned a lesson. He learned like this is ain't me. This is not me. This is not who I am. This is not who I grew up to be. And so he became really, creating Bible studies and, didn't get in any trouble. Gangs, they might have tried to recruit him, but he was like, no, man, listen, unless God is involved in the equation, if God leaves the room, I'm leaving the room. And that's how he
Mm.
was throughout the whole time. And it helped him with the administration in the prison, if you will. Because they
But
was
I
like,
want to ask. But I
you,
want to ask you this though.
yeah.
Was you up pacing back and forth like us mamas? Like
Uh,
when you went to bed at night?
oh yeah, yep. It was different for me though.
Right, that's what I know. Cause you're, I want to know from I want to know from a father's perspective. Cause us mamas, sometimes we're pacing back and forth, or we're, tossing and
Can't
turning at
sleep,
night.
can't
Yeah,
sleep.
can't sleep. But I want to know from a man's perspective, cause y'all be suppressing y'all emotions and y'all feelings.
Right. I think for me, in my quiet times, I prayed to God like to help me get through it. But then when I'm praying, I'm like, I have to come up with a practical solution, right? And so my ex used to call me up and say, "Hey, when you gonna file this appeal?" So the night before, I'm up trying to file an appeal. So I kept busy trying to do that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
so you basically, so you took your emotions out of it and just was like the paperwork, the appeals, the
Yeah.
courts, finding nonprofit organizations. So
Yep.
you just kept, it was okay. So you just kept your mind busy
Yes.
versus focusing on. Now,
Yep.
how was your ex wife during that?
She a mom. I mean, she's sleepless nights, crying.
And she would call you crying, or how did that go?
Yeah, once we started talking again, she was crying, throwing up. At nights when she was throwing up, nights when she couldn't eat. Nights when we get to the prison, she's crying beforehand, but she don't want to let him when we get in, see her cry. When we leave, she has tears in her eyes. And as a mom, it's different, right? And so, like I said, you guys are more emotional than we are. As men, I think we're more practical. But in my quiet, because I could not let her see me
Have
shed
your moment.
tears, right? And I
Okay.
had moments where I shed tears because I was like, man, my son just told me he didn't feel love. So when he told me that day at the prison, man, I came home when I'm by myself.
Right. Because you didn't do it in the car with her.
Oh no, I can't do that. Oh, come on, no, come on,
You
man.
know what? I can't stand
I can't,
John.
I can't, no,
I'm going to
no.
come to you. You know
Tiff,
what, John?
I gotta make sure that I'm strong for her,
Right.
right?
Right. No, I get it. I
Like
get it.
like she can be in the car, tears in her eyes, and you know, but I can't have no tears in my eye. We both crying because I'm driving. I gotta see. Come on now.
You know what? Not
And then I
I got to
get
see the
home.
road.
Yeah, right. I got things I got to do, right? But then I drop her off, and then I'll go home, and I'm like, man, then it hits me, and I'm like, all right, well, I might shed a tear too. I'm praying to God. I'm sad, like I can't believe it's like, and then I feel guilty, like how come I didn't know that he didn't feel love for me, when he was a teenager. Like how come I didn't see that? Because I was too stubborn and headstrong and wanting it to do it my way. And how come I didn't see it? So those moments of reflection were eye opening. And so in quiet moments, sometimes, yeah, I shed some tears. But after I shed those tears, guess what?
You
Let me
got on
tell you
that
about,
paperwork, doing
yeah,
the plea deals,
man, come
the
on.
emails, making phone calls.
Because if I didn't, who was gonna do it?
That's
Now
true.
they didn't work, but I'm doing it on a regular basis. I got case files like this thick.
Right.
Um, but I couldn't stop. And then he
Hmm.
would send me letters, and his letters were the most important thing. Because at the time they didn't have the tablets, and like they have tablets now, and they can email you and stuff like. All we had was letter writing, and his email, his letter. I still have his letters, and
Hmm.
he appreciated what I did. And then some of the letters like, "Dad, are you working? You ain't done enough." And I'm like, "Son, I'm doing it right." But then some of his letters back to me was like, "Hey, Dad, I appreciate you." You know, and I was
Right.
like, "Yeah, guess what, son? We're gonna get through it." So I can't even see, like, I can't even picture myself in that same position and as strong as he was during that 9-year period. I don't know if I could have done it. But he had two parents though that was like, even though we weren't together, we had divorced.
Right.
It was like, yeah, I have to do that for my son because we all make mistakes, man. Right.
Right.
And so
Wow.
that's
I listen, you just hearing from a father, and you said you felt guilt
oh yeah.
yourself, cuz us mothers feel like we're the only one that feel guilty. The daddies don't feel guilty because y'all not emotional. Y'all get up, y'all go to work, and y'all come home, and we over here on the floor like Steph said in the comments, she curl up in a ball on the floor crying, and y'all not doing that.
Well, we may do it in our private moments. We're not telling you.
Yeah. Did you have a
Hold on.
support? Did you have a support system like
Oh,
your
so
guy
I
friends?
was
Like,
just about to tell you that. So, sometimes your friends sometimes are not. Everybody in your corner is not in your circle.
mm, say that one more time. That need to be a T-shirt.
Everybody in your corner is not in your circle. So my circle was cool, right? They were okay. But I got remarried, and my ex-wife at the time, she came and visited him also with me.
Your new wife.
I'm not married. I'm single now.
Oh, you're
But at the
single,
time, I had
and you're
gotten
still
remarried.
single, ladies. But go ahead.
Yeah. And so my ex-wife at the time came and visited a couple times. Not at the same time that my son's mother came, but and that provided him with, like, he felt like somebody else is here other than just my mother and father. Because me and his mom used to go all the time. My daughter went, my youngest son didn't go as much because it was hard for him. It was hard for
Okay.
him as a sibling to go see his brother in that situation. I think I can talk kind of on one hand how many times he's seen him. My youngest son, right?
Really? So
But when I,
he was really affected by
oh yeah,
seeing his older brother in prison.
yeah, yeah, because he said this is not what I want to do. This is not who I want to be.
Now, how old was your youngest
They're a year
son?
and a half apart.
Okay, so your son's 21, so he's 20.
Yeah, so yeah, he's 19 going on 20. Yep. Uh-huh,
Now,
20.
okay.
And he said
Now,
that he was, growing up, they were like best friends growing up, right? That I mean, they year and a half apart. Basketball, I had them both in basketball, baseball. I played ball, they played ball. And my son in high school, the youngest one, was like, Dad, I don't want to be like him. Because he started changing. I think I told you his junior and senior year in high school.
oh yeah, you
And
did
my
say
youngest
that. You
son was like
did.
that. I ain't trying to be like that. I ain't trying to get the friends that he has. Like,
Okay.
and I think it affected him, where he didn't go see him that much at all.
Mm,
But to go back to your question, so the support system. So when I got remarried, the ex-wife used to go there, and my son liked seeing other people than just his mom and
just
dad,
mom
right?
and dad. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I was happy that the person that I was with at the time was able to, like, accept the fact that stuff happens, like didn't look at him negatively.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. This is a little bit off the topic, but since you said that, so when you met her, did you tell her you had a son that
It
was
was, it was,
incarcerated?
it was.
Or
I did, but not up front. It was difficult.
so what type of nugget and wisdom for us single folks? Uh what would be this, like, how do you tell someone like I have a child incarcerated when you're dating?
You just got to say it. You just got to be
Like
open
when
and
do you,
honest.
like when date number 2,
No, no, no,
date
that not that.
7?
No. You gotta no. Man, you had they gotta go through like I don't know. They gotta go through a period of dates, right? So you know that if I'm gonna be dating you, and
Mhm.
if we're gonna be serious, you need to know. But if we're just dating, we're going to movies, we're going to concerts and stuff like that. It's just some trips.
They
I ain't
don't need to
got I
know.
ain't,
You don't
man,
got
come
to
on, man.
okay.
Shaquita ain't got to know everything up front. The first 3 dates, no, she ain't got to know that because
Not
she may not even be in the.
Shaquita.
Well, I mean, Shaquita, man, she can make a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You don't know about Shaquita. Um, but the
I
first
can't
few
with you,
times,
John.
you don't know whether they're going to be a part of your life or not. But if you think they are, then they need to know, right? But now we have these public forums and social media, and so and the beauty of it though, Tiff, was my son has embraced it to the fact, like, uh he doesn't hide it. Like when if you could talk to him, you can see how articulate he is. And I think I sent you a video of him now
You
in his
did.
new
You
new
did.
position. And like if you was to see him and you can hear him talking to really articulate, you wouldn't even believe that he
That
was.
he
But
went to prison for 9 years.
right. But he embraces the fact like, hey, I made a mistake. And so I admire that about him. So if he's able to do that, right?
Okay.
He's dating someone now seriously, and the one he dated before, let them know, and then you let them make the decision. So I was like, man,
So when
like
you
I
told
don't,
her,
I don't go out advertising it,
right, right,
but
right, right. No one's gonna go and have a T-shirt. Yeah, my son's in prison. I'm single. I'm dating. Yeah, I want to
no,
date.
but
So when you
yeah,
told her, what did she say? And did she have any kids?
yeah. So she had a daughter at the time, and so she uh I mean, we were married. We weren't married that long. We was married about a year,
Okay,
but she understood that, hey, this is part of
this is
like
part of you. Okay.
it's part of my life. And when I go every 2 weeks to go visit,
Uh huh.
my ex-wife is going to be in the car with me, driving to there. And you need to understand. And are you okay with that? Because I'm
Mm,
not going to not go visit my son. Now,
right.
if it's one of the weekends where my ex-wife is not going and you want to go, man, come on, let's go visit,
Okay. Okay.
right? But my son is my son,
Right. No.
and
No. No. I
he needs that support. So
completely understand.
and so if I was with somebody who was like, no, John, you can't be taking your ex, why you can't drive her? She got to meet. Well, that wouldn't work.
No. 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 I completely understand that. So your son did 9 years. We fast forward. Um, I want to ask you this one because my son's coming home soon. Preparation,
Mhm.
preparing for him to come home.
Yep.
What advice would you give mothers whose sons or daughters are about to be released pretty soon? What would be like the top three things that you would say that us mothers should do for our sons and daughters?
Find corporations and companies that hire convicted felons.
Okay.
Make a list of them. That list may include, major big box retailers, but
Mm,
make the list.
okay. And that's what you did for your son.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And first of all, he told me before he got out, hey, Dad, these people hire convicted felons. So let me check myself, make sure, right? So get that list. Now, creating that list doesn't mean that they're going to hire, but at least we have a list.
At least we have a list. Okay. And you are doing this with your son. So
Yes.
it's dad and son. Can you I just want to say right now, people are in the comments saying how much they love the support of a father support because I can't, I'm not, I don't want to just assume, but I think some of us that are here in the chat raised our sons and daughters by ourselves or single parent. So you're getting a lot of love saying father support, that you were there for your son, preparing him, helping him the
Yep.
steps.
Yep.
And so people are saying, man, you getting your flowers right now, John.
Thank you.
You
But I
let
tell
him
you
see
this
that.
though, but moms are stronger than we are. And I appreciate single moms because they have a two-parent load, if you will. And it's important that single moms get a male figure, uncle, best friend, grandfather that can help them with this process too, right? Because I think that boys need fathers. And then he's not a boy, he wasn't a boy anymore,
Right, he's
but
a man. Yeah.
men need other men. My son needed me. Now, and we talk often nowadays, right? We talk more now after you got out. But to go back to your original question in terms of preparation, um, get a list of companies that your son can work out because they got to hit the ground running. They may go to a halfway house and be on probation, but they got to get a job, right? So once they get a job, there's other things that they have to be responsible for and keep on top of, if that makes sense. And so I would make a list of those companies. But I would also do this though, and this is me in my corporate environment. Set up a LLC because they may have to work for themselves on the side. Set up an LLC with the state, get an EIN number for the business, and set that up. Because now, suppose your son does get a job in a warehouse,
Hmm.
but he has an LLC set up, he could do pressure washing. Go buy a pressure washer from Home Depot
Listen,
and Lowe's. Wait a minute. When you buy that pressure washer, guess what he can also do? mobile detailing, but you got the LLC set up, and you as a mom can help him send flyers out to your network. Hey, guess what? My son does mobile detailing. Guess what? My son does pressure washing. Now he may get that job in the warehouse, but you need to set that foundation up. So if that doesn't work, working in a 9 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
you can do stuff on the side with a legitimate business.
You
Set it
dropping
up.
some seeds right here. This is good.
Set
Because
it
that's
up.
what listening to you, and I see Monique is on here too. The LLC thing and the EIN number, that's exactly what I'm going to do and do for my son too. Because yeah, you have a job, but like you said, have something of your own. Because just in case if you're with, like you said, a warehouse, what happened if the warehouse goes on a layoff? But you built so much clientele through social media where maybe by you being laid off, okay, cool. But I still have my, like you said, your mobile. That's a good idea. Y'all, this is good. This is really good. I didn't even think about that from that level. And now that we don't have to do flyers, now you can just get on TikTok live
Right.
and just find resources. That's so good. No,
Yep.
that's really good cuz think about it cuz I feel
You can
like we should.
utilize your network too.
Huh?
Come on, man. You
What?
utilize your network. Your girls will be like, listen, man, your son gonna be doing my mobile detail. He gonna be pressure wash my driveway. Come on now.
Yes. No, I think this is great because I think, I mean, that's the point of, my child is in prison. Now what? Now what do you do? And then while your son is in prison for 10 years or 15 years, what do you do in that time frame as a mother? And then second, okay, my son's coming home in the next 2 years. What are you doing preparing? Like you said, LOC, EIN number, that's important. Yeah, they can go get a job, but it's nothing like having your own.
And let me tell you this: the expectation needs to be realistic. A lot
Right.
of people ain't gonna hire you. They're gonna look at your record and automatically consider you a pariah. So you got to let them know, like, listen, let my son know, listen. And, he said, Dad, I'm applying here. I applied at 50 million places. They didn't call me back. This, I'm like, listen, understand this. They're not going to. In terms of, first of all, we have a record. You can be you can have a felony and be the president of the United States, but you can't have a felony and get an apartment. And you're gonna have to help them get their own place. So
Yeah,
that's
like
one of the
apartment.
things
Yeah,
too.
that's another thing. Yeah.
And so, you have to let them know and be realistic. Like it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. These next 2 years out, we need to be the support system for them. But eventually, gradually let them know, okay, it's not gonna be hard, but I'm gonna help you, but you got to help yourself too. Right. So we need to help them get their own housing. We need to help them with their business. We need to help them in their job applications because they don't know. And being away for so long, like when my son got out, everything changed. Social media changed, technology had changed. So he had to ramp up, right? Because it's not the same anymore. So setting realistic expectations with your son. Let's sit down.
Okay, so setting
It's very
realistic
important.
expectation,
Yes.
setting up a LOC, a EIN number for them, um,
Getting a list of jobs where
getting
you
a
could
getting a
work
list
with
of
some different
jobs.
talents. Yep.
Okay, and then so I see Sybil in here. She just said, also trade. They can pick up a trade and while they're in prison, and then use that when they get out.
That's key. I was gonna mention that too. Man, your folks are on top of it, man.
Listen,
So
we women.
I
We come
know. I
together.
see. I
These women on this chat, they not playing. They like she just Sybil was just like find a trade in prison and when you get out.
So sometimes that before that last year that you get out,
Uh
they'll put
huh.
you in like a rehab center, right? Rehabilitation center. And then you get the trades. They need to go to all those classes, HVAC, electrical, whatever, because they come in and educating you to try to get you transition into society.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not seem a lot at that time, but that 1 year before they go into that transition period, a
Uh
lot of
huh.
states they do that. Take those classes. So then when you get out, you say, listen, I took this HVAC class. Then you go to the HVAC employer. Because they just want people to work. Hey, I took this electrical, took this plumbing, MEPs, mechanical, electric, plumbing. Get
Yeah.
those three MEPs.
Okay. Is that it? Is that air conditioning that too?
Yeah,
Okay.
mechanical
Okay.
is like HVAC and
Okay. Okay.
heating,
Okay. Okay.
electrical, and then plumbing. MEPs. I'm dropping some real estate knowledge on you right now.
You.
Yeah.
That's right. So you're prepping your son, so he about to come home pretty soon. You prep him, so he's already mentally prepared too, because you've already like had this conversation
Yes.
and What type of advice did you give him in that last 6 months of him about to be released? Like, what was the nuggets and the father son moments that you had with him?
That it wasn't going to be easy, but I'm help you. Like,
It's not gonna be
like,
easy, but I'm gonna help you.
yeah, you got me. Like, I got you.
Okay.
Like, nobody else can understand what you're going through other than me, because something similar happened to me 40 years ago.
Uh huh.
So I understood, and
You
so
understood the assignment.
I think he understood that I'm talking for him, not just from a father, but somebody that went through that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So not the same thing in the same value. I mean, same instance that he did, but I went through some of the same things. So I was like, this is what you got to do, son. So this is what we're going to do. When you get out, you're going to work. You're going to see if you can work here. I'm in real estate. I'm gonna help you in my real estate deal. So you want to learn this? Let me show you how you can make money by not being in a corporate environment, but you can make more money doing some of the stuff we do in real estate than you could working for somebody. And you don't have to apply for it. So somebody could tell you no. It's just hard work. So
Right.
I'm gonna give you my truck. I got a truck sitting in the driveway. Check this out, son. You can get the truck. But this is what we're gonna do.
Okay.
All right. And you just gotta, but of course, getting out, he wanted it to be easy. But I'm like, nah, nah.
So okay, so let's go. Let's talk about that. So he gets So he gets released. So he's in prison for 9 years, and mentally, you let us know you basically was paperwork, filing appeal. So that's how you dealt with your emotions. Every now and then you'll cry, but at the end of the day, you basically was probably a workaholic, and that's how you probably suppress your emotions with him being in prison for 9 years. That's what I'm listening.
Yeah, I didn't cry. I had, I got allergies.
Uh, oh Lord Jesus. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
I'm saying like men's focus level is like you turned it into like helping them get, the appeals, the paperwork, and then you obviously you're in real estate, so you got all these deals that's going on in real estate. It's a lot going on too 9 years ago, so that's a lot happening.
yep,
Um,
yep,
okay, so now he's released, and so you
yep,
guys have a game plan.
yep. And
And
so he had to work. He worked in a warehouse, and I'm like, keep that job,
okay.
keep that job. And they like him because he's a hard worker.
Now wait. Did you help him get this warehouse job
And no, when
or
he was in that 1 year transition from rehabilitation period,
okay.
they hooked him up with that.
And this is in Georgia.
Yes, so he was like a halfway house situation.
Okay, halfway house
So
in Georgia.
he went to
Okay.
a halfway house, and so a halfway house you had to work, and then be in the halfway house. So
Okay.
when he was at the halfway house, the warehouse is like, after you get out the halfway house, well, you're hard worker. We gonna hire you, right? So he just kept working after the halfway house, and I said, keep that job. It wasn't that much money, but keep it, and then you're gonna learn what we're gonna do, right, with this real estate thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil advocate. What happened if everybody don't have a father like John? Because
They
I
gotta
don't
have
have a
they,
Damiani doesn't have a father like you.
they gotta have a mother that is the same way.
But
I have a different perspective as a father. Like,
right.
from a father, we like, you ain't got no choice. You gotta, and then you eventually want to get married one day, son. And so that means you have to be a man. You got to step it up. I think sometimes moms will be more coddling of their sons.
It's
I want
okay
to
to say
say
it. It's okay.
they want
You
to they want
it's
to
okay. You can
they want
tell
to
us women.
enable the sons, but that doesn't help them be a man. And so I would say, I would tell the moms to do the same exact thing. Don't
Okay.
enable, but put that pressure on them to make sure that, and you still got them. You still got them anyway, but make sure that they are doing what they got to do, like to be the man, like to be a man, to live on their own, right? And I'm gonna help you, son, but you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to get this job. You got to do this. I'm gonna help you, but you got to make it happen. Moms
So
can enable, I think, sometimes.
no. I agree that sometimes mothers do enable their sons and daughters, especially the boys, because something about boys with mamas it's a little bit different. So how would you say for us not to enable our young men that will be coming home soon?
Uh,
What do you
the
think we
first
should
thing,
do?
the first thing off the top of my head,
Yeah.
just speaking off the dome, I don't even always write off the dome. I was like, you're like, listen, I'm gonna give you about a year and a half, 18 months.
Okay.
Stay with me or stay where we put you at
Mm-hmm.
with a family member. But
Right.
something's got to happen after the 18 months.
Okay. So a time frame, a
Yes.
deadline. Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
That
good.
they're working towards, right? You
Okay.
still gonna help them,
No, no, no.
but
You still gonna
I'm
help them,
gonna
but
give
give them
you
a time. Yes.
right.
No, I agree with that.
I don't want you just coming out being stressed. No,
Okay.
I'm gonna give you about 18 months, and then
Okay.
figure it out. We gotta figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Hey, I can listen. You're gonna be part of my journey when my son gets out. So, because he's coming home pretty soon, and
I know.
um, well, I'm not really a coddler anyway, so I'm a little rough. I'm a little rough around the
I
feathers.
know.
My son, don't,
I
you know
know.
what? Don't,
I can talk about that.
they don't need to know our history together, y'all.
Oh,
We
okay.
got
All right.
history.
Okay. All right.
Me and him
All
will
right.
fuss off. I'm a little bit,
You weren't playing.
I wasn't playing. I'm like Cookie from Empire, and I'm like Tasha Mack from the game. I'm a little hard. I'm a little rough, mama, and my son knows that. So I truly understand what you're saying. Give the time frame of you saying 18 months. I think 18 months is a long time for someone to get situated, and especially you said to help them. And
Yeah.
the information that you gave was very helpful. You really just downloaded some things for me to do for Damiani when he gets home. So I thank you for that. So now let's talk about your son's free now.
Yeah. So, I had him doing real estate with me for the last 4 years, 3 years, 4 years he's been out.
Yes.
Real estate, you don't really make money every 2 weeks,
Yeah,
it's
real estate is
difficult,
different.
right?
Yeah.
But we got his credit up. We started, I got him told him how to get a secured credit card. One of the first things, open up a bank account,
Okay.
get a secured credit card, start building credit. Once you do
Mm-hmm.
that, you go get a Discover card, they'll give you 8 grand. Once your credit gets back up to where it needs to be,
Mm-hmm.
and we utilize that, right? You utilize that, you know. And uh, I told him you still got to work though, because real estate, is
Right. I used to be. Yeah, I used to
yeah.
be in real
You
estate.
understand, right? Like
I understand.
I sold 4 houses last year, but I didn't really make that much money. But I'm able to do stuff because I got other stuff happening in the back end.
Right.
So
Right.
so he I was like, you got to do that, son. You want to be like me, but you ain't to that level yet. Keep a job, still do real estate. So you got that two things going on. You got
Okay.
your
Someone
main thing.
asked you a question.
What's that?
She asked you, Steph. She asked, "Can you do real estate sales with a felony?" With the felony.
Not as an agent, I don't believe.
Okay. Now.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, but I say I'm a real estate investor and developer. I hire agents. Like I can use an agent to sell my property. So
Okay.
I explained this to my son because he's like, Dad, I wanted to get my real estate license, but I think in Georgia you can't have a felony to do a real estate license.
Okay. So
But
it
you can still
depends.
do,
Okay.
but you still can do real estate. Come on,
Okay.
man, we can still go buy and sell. I got a lender. If you want to put a for sale by owner sale out in front, you can still do that and make the money from under your LLC. We buy properties in our LLC. So
Okay.
I network with a bunch of real estate agents. So if I buy a house, fix it up, I get a real estate agent to go ahead and sell it. So I don't need to have the license. I told my son, you don't need to have the real estate license, but check
Okay.
it, but check with your state though, right? There
Check
are
with the
certain
state. Okay.
states where you can't be an agent with a felon, but
Okay.
I don't know every state.
Right. No, 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 no. No, I was just, she had a question in the
Yeah, yeah,
comments. So I just wanted
yep,
to ask you the
yep,
question while
yep,
we're here. So that was her
yep,
question. She
yep.
said, thank you, by the way. Um, so, so fast forward to, yeah,
Oh,
your son, now
so
he's
being in that
doing,
real estate industry now, he's what did I sent you the video? He's like
you
an
sent me the video.
operations
Oper-
manager, right?
yes.
Because these people is a family-owned firm within the real estate industry, and they like him because when I tell you he articulate, he's nice, he don't cuss and nothing like that. So they was like, you know what?
And you have a good looking son too. So I just want to
Oh,
let you
I
know that
know,
too.
man. Listen,
So
you can
just want
see
to say
some of
you
my
got a good
friends be
looking son.
my friends be trying to hit on my son. I'm like, listen, man, so you about 50 years old, he's 50, 55, you can't be hitting on my
Listen,
son.
listen, I'm 40 and some change and I'm single. So hey, ain't
You
nothing
can't
like
talk
them
to him
young
either.
ones. I can't talk. I ain't gonna talk to him, but it's a saying. But it's a saying.
Look,
You do got a good looking son.
he looked just like Ludacris. My daughter had his wife talk to my son. But anyway, um, so he's now an operations manager, right? And he's still
Okay.
within the real estate industry, but
Okay.
he's getting a regular check now every week, every 2 weeks. And he's still working with me in real estate, finding deals.
Yeah. And
So
then
they
wait,
better
the
be,
video that you sent me, he's working with that company.
yeah.
Okay, now what company is that? Is that
It's called garage floors. They do epoxy garage flooring for high-end homes.
Okay.
So like, say for instance, I buy a house and I'm fixing it up, and one of the things I got to do is redo the garage floor. His company does that.
How do you, now that this is over, he's now where he's at now. How do you feel overall now as a dad?
Man, I love it. Love it. Like he has he's been with his girlfriend now for about 2, 3 years now. She's a nurse, getting her MBA. I love the fact that she's embracing him for him, right?
That's good.
No matter what his record is, she looks at him as the person.
Not
Um,
as his past.
nah. And so what happens is a lot of people look at us as our past, but we're not that anymore. So I love that about him. I sent him a bill the other day, like he owed me 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 grand over the years, uh, which I'll never get paid on. But I like the fact that I can still joke with him and laugh with him. And like I'm more close to him now than when I
I
was.
was just about to ask you that.
Oh
Do
man.
you feel that him being in prison
Oh
have
yeah.
brought you guys together?
Definitely. Unfortunately, but yes.
The devil meaning for your bad, but God
Yep.
makes
God
for your
made for
good.
the
So
good.
relationship is good. And what about the siblings? How is that relationship with the siblings?
Oh, his sister, man. So when he first got out, let me tell you this. His sister was getting married. So when I got him, he was getting out of the halfway house. One of the first events that he went to was my daughter's wedding. So I had to go buy him a suit and everything.
Right.
But they surprised me because I was supposed to go pick him up. My daughter went and picked him up and brought him to my house. Man, when I tell you that was, I
Oh,
shed some tears
that's
that
when you
day
shed
because
some
I didn't,
tears.
because I was going to go get him, and he knocked on the door, and I looked at him, and he was all buffed up and looked good. I was like, man, and so he was able to be in my
Oh,
daughter's wedding,
praise.
um,
That's
for his
good.
first event. I think I posted some pictures too when I picked him up in the Ghost. You know what the Ghost is, right?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. I
I
picked him
do.
up in the Ghost, so
Oh,
we drive
Jesus,
around.
John.
We drive around.
Yes,
You know
we
I'm
know.
crazy, right? You know I'm crazy, right? I
I
drive
know.
around in the Ghost,
Been
man. But
knowing you for 11 years, so I know your ass is.
I know, right? But he had but just to have that interaction, just to get him out. All right. So for me, now it's a game plan. But you know what my wife said? What she missed the most?
What?
Ex-wife. He was always like the loving child. Like he hugs and kiss you all the time, everybody. She
Mm-hmm.
said the most thing that she missed was that his hugs and his embrace. Like even if
Oh,
we were leaving prison, he would embrace her. But she said she missed that. He would just jump in bed with her and just like, and come on, mom, I got you, right? So for her, it was that feeling, that emotion, for me, I'm just like,
yes.
all right, you back? We about to hit it. That's what we gotta do. And guess
Oh,
what? He even talks to me sometimes about his relationship, and
I love this. So, okay, so before we
he still get
end,
mad at me though. He still get mad at me at times though.
well, yeah, that's gonna always happen.
Yeah.
So before we end this live in this episode, what's the one takeaway that you want us mothers to walk away from a father's perspective on remaining strong and sometimes taking your feelings, your emotions out of it? Because you did say that it's difficult for us. It really is sometimes.
So, but I would say don't take your emotions out of it.
Okay.
Let your sons know that you hurt, you're crying, and you want the best for them. Let them see that.
Okay.
Sometimes if you feel like you disappointing your mom, it's just like if we feel like we disappoint God by our decisions, then we're gonna make a change to not disappoint God. I think sons and daughters will, if they know how it affects their parents. Like, I don't want my mom to feel bad, about my decisions. So let them know that it's okay for you as a mom to show emotion. But conversely, this is what we gotta do. So it's still being a mom, still showing empathy, still showing that it hurts me. It hurts
Mm-hmm.
me what you did, but it's not who you are. And let them just know that.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they can feel empathy like, man, I don't want to hurt my mom. But then conversely, on the other side, this ninja, or well, not ninja, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, this is what we
I
gotta
may
do.
say that to my
Yeah,
son.
I don't know I already know what you're gonna say. But here's the checklist. This is what we
Look,
gotta do next.
would you stop talking about something you know what I'm gonna say?
Oh, all right, my bad, my bad. I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I don't
you know what I'm gonna say.
know.
You definitely know what I'm gonna say.
I know. I know. I know.
No, oh my God. Jon, I love this. The people in the chat was loving this. They were this great interview. You're the first father to be on this podcast from a father's perspective, and I don't want to leave fathers out. It's just I don't know, I'm just naturally just with women. So, but I'm so grateful to God that I've been knowing you for years and you reached out to me so we can talk about this because you just dropped a lot of nuggets in this episode, even for me. So I want to say thank you so much. And I truly appreciate you. And you guys, again, if you guys want to, maybe get in contact with Jon, I will definitely put his information in the description, and I'll put the link below to find him on every social media platform. And then again, Jon, I truly appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Everybody, thank you so much for this live. I truly appreciate you guys. Again, share this with everybody. Leave comments, share, because you guys, we are making noise on YouTube for this channel. YouTube is sending me some information, letting me know that I am making some noise when it comes to this topic about mothers with children incarceration. So I'm so excited.
Can I say this, Tiffany?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. When I say I'm proud of you, I've seen growth in you. Like I can't explain it, but I've seen growth, and so I am so proud of you. Like if I can give you your flowers, I any day. I've always been admired of you, but I'm really proud of you.
Oh,
Keep holding that banner.
thank you. You're gonna. I'm a little. Don't get me emotional on this live. Why you don't do
Yeah,
that?
I got you. I got you.
Jesus.
I love you. Put it that way.
I love you too because you've been with me in the beginning when Damiani was busting, when the police busted down my door.
I
You
remember.
were you were there for that.
I
So
remember. I remember.
it's been a lot with Damiani, and I just thank God for true friends, and you've been a friend from day one, and here you are. What, 10 years later?
At least.
We're still here together as friends, and I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. And you guys, again, my child is in prison now. What, you guys? I truly appreciate you guys. Again, share this, comments, review. We need all of that. I need to make a lot of noise on on YouTube because they are telling me through my feedback with YouTube that this channel is making some noise, and I'm not going nowhere because there's 1.8 million people that are incarcerated. So I am not here for everybody. I'm just here for the mamas to go help them through this journey of having a child incarcerated because it's not easy. But mamas, I want y'all to remain strong, and God got us. And you guys have a good night, and God bless you. And again, Jon, thank you so much.
No, thank you too. All right. Bye bye.